Will the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal be taking a united province to the December National Conference? Are KwaZulu-Natal's ANC branch general meetings done and dusted? Why did the ANC in KZN deem it necessary to appeal against the Pietermaritzburg Court Ruling? And what is the current legal status of the PEC? What time is it? It's question time. Khotsong and welcome to the show. My name is Mpumalanga. With close to a month left to the much anticipated ANC Elective Conference in December, the spotlight is on the governing party's branches. The branches are expected to have completed nominations for the party's leadership by tomorrow. KwaZulu-Natal is under scrutiny, having been the biggest province by numbers to the ANC's past elective conferences. Its numbers seem to be dwindling, though. It had 300 more delegates over the second province in Mangaung in 2012. In December, it will be sending a paltry 134 more delegates than second-placed Mpumalanga Province. The current provincial leadership's appeal against the Pietermaritzburg High Court Ruling on the 2015 Provincial Conference has pitted comrades against others. The so-called rebels filed an interdict against the appeal earlier this month. But is this pending appeal likely to impact KZN negatively? We are live, and therefore you can call us and air your views. The numbers to dial is 089-110-4210, our international number, plus 2789-110-4210, and our Twitter handle at QuestionTime24. My guest today, Sihle Zigalala. He is the chairperson of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal, and he joins us from our studios in Durban. Slalo, welcome to Question Time, and we appreciate you making time to talk to us. Perhaps firstly, one of the questions that I saw on my timeline was, ask that man, how does he feel to be an illegitimate chairperson of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal? And I thought, well, that's the first question I'm going to ask. Is he legitimate or illegitimate?
Thanks, Mpo, for having us in the question times again. It's always a pleasure to engage with you. Firstly, on the issue you are raising, I don't believe that the question is relevant. Yeah. Because the issue of the conference, firstly, was clarified by the National Executive Committee that the decision of the court is challenged, and the ANC as a whole, not just the PEC, but the NEC has appealed that decision. And therefore, the PEC remains in office and it is working. The ANC PEC in KwaZulu-Natal enjoys the support of branches, the majority of branches of the ANC. That was expressed even in the recently held PGC, and I believe those who were there would attest to that. And therefore, the ANC is busy, including in KwaZulu-Natal, working on preparations for the national conference. And our engagement on national conference is not only about leadership issues, yes, but is equally about the future of the ANC, the policies that the ANC must pursue after the December conference.
What is your position on the generational mix subject?
That is one key issue. The issue of the leadership in the ANC is quite important. As we go to the national conference, we need to ensure that we rejuvenate the leadership of the ANC. Our view is that at least half, if not 60%, members of the NEC should be people who are around 35, 30, up to 40 or early 50s. And then you must maintain, or we must maintain, the elder generations to ensure that they continue to impact the knowledge, the experience they've acquired to the younger people who will then be there. But our view is that we don't just need, we do need to take into cognizance that the world and indeed our country has become younger. The population is dominated by young people, and therefore we need, even in the leadership structures of the ANC, to reflect that. But also we do need to ensure that the policies and the programs of the organization still remains resonating with the interest and embracing the interest of all people of South Africa.
Okay, just hold it there, Chairperson. Sox, you're calling us from is it Witbank? Welcome.
Witbank. Hello?
Yes, Sox?
Yes. Mpo, Khotong.
Ayat, Mruduak.
Mpo, Chapele, ne? Zinhle is one of the prophet of denialism. I want to ask Zinhle, especially ka Guptas. Zinhle, if kuyotholakala in future ukuthi imali yase Bloemfontein yaphuma eBloemfontein yaya eDubai yabuya yashadisa abantwana bakaGupta, uyothini wena uyi-South African to the South African? Thank you, Mpo.
Thanks very much. Oh, Sparks there. Slal.
No, thanks a lot. I don't know whether this question, in fact, relates to what we are discussing.
It probably
However, any element of corruption need to be dealt with no fear or favor. And the issue of Guptas, as the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal, we have been clear on, and we said it clearly that the tendencies that are shown by the behavior of Guptas need to be condemned and need to be dealt with. And okay. I don't know why he then asked that Ngiautini, what will I say, if these allegations are proven. Any allegation need to be proven, and those who are involved need to be punished.
Charlotte, there are concerns, I mean, with this BGMs and I mean, the SG was addressing a media briefing earlier today, and obviously these are decisions that were taken at an NEC, which you are a member of as an ex-officio there, that there's going to be an allowance for BGMs to sit up until Sunday. But there have been protests. People are complaining of gatekeeping. They're saying, well, in areas where people are nominating Cyril Ramaphosa, people from or comrades who support the NDZ slates are trying to manage them. Those that support NDZ and they are in perhaps in RECs that are controlled by those who support CR17 are complaining that they are being dealt with harshly. Gatekeeping leading to the conference.
Well, we must understand what is gatekeeping. In most cases, when people talk about gatekeeping, they normally talk about being prevented from getting the membership of the ANC. Now, there is no one who has been prevented from getting the membership of the ANC. We accepted all members, and we have ensured that members of the ANC participate in all programs of the ANC. That's why various
family were not allowed.
That's why all people who are being nominated are founding expression. They are nominated in almost all regions. And there is not even a single branch where people have been banned or have been stopped from participating. And structures who are affected by that have a right to appeal. There is an appeals team in the province, it's attending to issues, but also there is an appeals team from the national, which is coming here to work on issues that are appeals from branches.
Okay, let's go to Volis. Netile, welcome.
Yeah,
right, so Dumel.
Yeah, I want to talk to a temporary chairperson of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal.
Temporary.
I want to ask Zigalal.
Yeah.
Prepare to lead under the leadership of Cyril Ramaphosa. Because I don't know I was watching a TV previous week. I see that the BGM in KwaZulu-Natal, people of the faction that belong to Zikalala, they're coming with the bodyguard, coming with the security there to attacking those who supporting Cyril Ramaphosa. I want to know if he's prepared to lead under Cyril Ramaphosa, or are you going to resign?
Okay. Start.
I think the question is fair and we need to answer it honestly. We are going to the ANC National Conference. There are leaders who are being nominated. We are members of the ANC. We are not members of those leaders who are nominated. We have been in the organization not for the positions, but to serve the ANC.
Yeah.
We have a view, a majority of us in the PEC and in the organization, that Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma must be the president.
Correct.
Like members of the ANC, we have a right to campaign for her to lead.
Yes.
But a leader of the ANC, once is elected, whether it's Cyril or Nkosazana or anyone else, all of us as members of the ANC will have to unite behind the elected leader of the ANC. The ANC is going to have a January 8 rally next year, January in Eastern Cape. I'm sure that I will be there irrespective of who is elected, wearing a T-shirt of a leader who will be leading the ANC at that time. If it is Cyril, we will be there in support and behind him. If it is Nkosazana, we will be there in support and behind her.
Now, there's something, I'm not so sure if I'm going to be fair to you here, but the NEC took a position on Eastern Cape to set up a task team led by, of course, one of your own there, Sbu Ndebele. But some analysts are saying KZN has laid a precedent whereby PECs cannot be dissolved easily, because if the ANC or the NEC was to take a decision to dissolve the PEC in the Eastern Cape, they would have had to do the same with KZN, which is something that has not been done. Do you think you have laid a wrong precedent in this case, whereby it becomes difficult now for the NEC perhaps to deal with other PECs?
No, the analysts are not correct in that point, and let us be fair. The circumstances and the situation and the cases at hand are not the same. The ANC in KwaZulu-Natal held a conference. The conference was successful. It went through all processes with no problem. After the conference, I think a year after a conference, few comrades emerged and say, no, they are appealing the outcome of the conference. They went to court. They challenged the legitimacy of the conference on few counts. The first count was the question that the conference took place earlier than it was expected or before the lapse of the term of office. Secondly, they were saying there were irregularities. Then the court found that no, there was nothing material amounting to what they were saying is irregularities. They were dismissed on that. Then the court said, yes, the conference was held early, and therefore you should have exhausted or finished your term, then convene the conference. And then that's where the issue was. And that's what the matter is about, the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal. Not only the PEC, but even the NEC agree that this judgment has a far-bearing implications to the ANC as a whole. The question of Eastern Cape is totally separate and not similar to what to the situation of KwaZulu-Natal.
Sure.
And I will not want to delve and enter into details about the Eastern Cape issues, because there is a national leadership and there is a provincial leadership of Eastern Cape who are capable enough to address those issues. But let us not compare two and different things.
Okay, Francois, you are in Western Cape. Welcome.
Good evening, Mpo, and how are you?
I'm well. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, Francois, in the Eastern Cape. Sorry. Thought you... Yes.
Mpo, good evening to you.
Yes, welcome.
Mpo, it's a worrying factor, man. The fact that, in my view, our country don't have men with character, with dignity. That is, for starters, the problem. And if this country is going to be led by youngsters, now, if you are young, you got to take actually, the example from the elderly. But today, that's not the case. This country will be plunged, in a massive kind of a problem and problems. That is the issue at hand. Now, the BGMs are mostly, youngsters. And youngsters are a little bit militant. We can see what is happening. Now, we need to have leaders. South Africa will have to yield leaders of stature, of character. And I think that would be, the factor that would actually give, our country a little bit of hope. But without that, it's a problem. And also leaders who are connected to God, because not one of the leaders would ever mention anything about God. This is my view. And I'm praying for this country.
Okay.
I'm praying that really things should come to, a kind of, a position or to somewhere where we can all, feel free in our country. And if you exclude God in all this, then Francois, it's over. Thank you, Mpo.
Thank you very much, Francois. They're saying, well, he would appreciate an organization that says a lot about God as well. Well, the ANC says it's a broad church. But, Slalo, one of the things that I would like to check with you, wouldn't you have loved to take a united KZN to conference?
Yes, that would be correct. To go and with a delegation that is more united. But even now, I don't believe that we have a problem with a delegation that we have. Majority of members are in support of Comrade Nkosazana. There are those who prefer Comrade Cyril. There are those who prefer Comrade Zweli. There are those who prefer Comrade Lindiwe Sisulu and others. We must then accept that there is a democracy in the ANC. Yes. And we must not take that in a different kind of a situation. We must just accept that and ensure that we go to the national conference and the democratic will prevail.
Okay.
What is important is for the ANC to have a leadership that embraces all people and all members' views.
Okay.
In this regard, we believe that ours should not be a slate politics, but we should go there with an open mind. Of course, we will have our own preferred candidate. Of course, we will lobby for those candidates, but also we should be accommodative. It should not be a matter of winner take all. It should be an approach that is inclusive. When we emerge at the end of the national conference, we should have a leadership that is embraced by the entire membership of the ANC in the country.
Let's go to Limpopo. Silo, welcome.
Yeah, how are you, Mpo?
I'm well. Thanks for the call, Silo.
Yeah, it's been in Kapan.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish those guys, they can just sit down around the table and try to resolve things, because that's destroying our future in this country now.
You're saying you would have what?
I wish those leaders, they can just sit down and resolve all these issues, because now this year, as young people, we don't have future in this country the way they rule it, you see.
Oh, yes, indeed. Well, talking about sitting down and talking, have you sat down with Lawrence Dube, Slalo?
We are talking both in the province and nationally. Firstly, in KwaZulu-Natal, we are trying to engage and resolve the impasse and differences that have characterized the province before.
Yes.
It is our responsibility as leaders, as Silo is pleading with us, to understand that the ANC does not belong to us. We have came and we joined the ANC. There were leaders of the ANC at that time. We must ensure that we preserve the ANC and keep it as an organization for the generations to come. And I do believe that what Silo is saying is quite important and is honest. There is a need to sit down, ensure that we discuss issues, try to unite the movement in the province and at a national level, not only for us, but for the people of South Africa and for the generations to come.
I've got two more questions, but let me firstly deal with this one, Slalo. Just give us a picture of KZN. So far, how many branches have corraded, and what are, if I may use the term, the balance of forces in terms of the slates?
I will not want to get into details of nominations because each branch nominates on its own.
Okay.
And the result will be known once the Electoral Commission open the boxes and check which branch has nominated who. And therefore, I'm not a person who's paranoid about issues of nominations. But what I know is that generally there is an overwhelming support of Comrade Nkosazana in the province of KwaZulu-Natal.
Okay.
More than 60% or 65 to 70% of BGMs have taken place. I can say that in KwaZulu-Natal we are expected to convene at least 806 BGMs, and I know that more than 600 BGMs have already taken place as of today, and we will then be proceeding, try to complete this coming weekend.
So in your analysis, we are getting ma'am?
Well, not only KwaZulu-Natal, because we should not reduce the support of Comrade Nkosazana to be like the KwaZulu-Natal support. Comrade Nkosazana enjoys the support of the majority of structures of the ANC and the membership of the ANC.
Okay.
And therefore, I believe she will be elected, and that will be the democratic will of the people within the ANC, of the members of the ANC.
Okay.
But what I would not want is the paranoia about the election of the leadership in the ANC.
Okay.
You would have seen the leaders of the ANC going public, speaking about who must be nominated and if they are elected, who must be part of their winning teams and all of that. In the ANC, we don't have squads. You don't choose who must be with you in the structure. You get elected and you serve with people who have been elected by members, irrespective of whether those people have supported you or not.
Okay.
Where I stand is that the officials of the ANC and the additionals of the ANC should be the composite of all views in the ANC, and we must emerge with a leadership collective that shows the picture of unity of the ANC.
Okay. Slalo, thank you very much, and I think I owe you a visit as the MEC down there. I'm told that there's some one-stop facility which you are launching. When is it being launched, by the way?
This coming Saturday here in KwaZulu-Natal ICC, we are launching a one-stop shop, which is a coordinating center of all investments. And we will want to ensure that in KwaZulu-Natal, we address the issue of the red tapes and instead put the red carpet for investors.
Well, we have run out of time. Abe Khozo.